Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Crack That, Turning Problems into Solutions. This is me Priyasha Das, and today in this video we'll be discussing some more questions of statement and assumptions and the answers of the practice set 7 as well. But before that, let me tell you about the Unacademy's target batch of MAHCET 2022. So if you're planning to give this examination and get into the top MBA colleges like JBIMS, Simsri and Pumba, then please don't miss out this last chance of subscribing to the MAHCET goal on Unacademy and getting prepared for this examination completely in line with the paper pattern. So check out the link in the description box to subscribe yourself to this target batch, and for that don't forget to use my code Priyasha10 while enrolling into it, because that will give you an additional instant discount of 10%. So you must be knowing the plus benefits already, like raising hand, posting doubts in the class, and directly calling the teacher in the class and clarifying your doubts. But all these features can be given a special edge with the iconic subscription, where everything can be turned into a one-on-one thing, where you can have one-on-one doubt discussion, one-on-one life concept discussion, as well as one-on-one mentorship with the top B school graduates. And the best part about iconic subscription is that you can book the slots according to your convenience. So now whatever topics you want to study with your tutor at a particular time, you can book the slot accordingly. So iconic subscription gives you the freedom of actually getting your doubts solved one-on-one with the teacher. And if you're finding yourself weak in a particular topic or subject, then you can surely get in touch with a tutor and on one-on-one basis get it clarified. So these benefits will not be available on any other platform. So don't miss out this iconic subscription. Get your iconic subscription today using the link in the description box. And don't forget to use my code Priyasha10, because that will give you an additional instant discount of 10% on your subscription. Now let's get our video started. Hello everyone. So in this video we'll be talking about the statement and the assumption types questions part 2. In this I'll just be answering the questions which I gave you in the previous assignment, that's practice set 7. So it had 5 questions in it, and before we get started with answering these questions, I wanted to give you a brief about what assumptions are all about. When we are considering assumptions, we are just considering the assumptions of the author. We are not talking about our assumption, because then if we start considering about our assumptions can be different from a number of people. But when it comes to finding out the author's assumption, that should be uniform and same, and that actually reflects your quality to understand or gauge the level of thinking of the other person. So here also you have to do the same thing. Now when we go down and check the first question, remember that if you are trying to say that only the first assumption is implicit, then we'll be going with option 1. If you think that only the assumption 2 is correct, then it will be on number 2. And if either of them are implicit, then we'll go with option 3. If none of them are right, then option 4. And if both of them are correct, then option 5. So the first statement is, use Kajaria ceramics tiles to decorate your house. This is an advertisement, and from this advertisement we have to make a certain set of assumptions. Now what we have to do is we have to identify the assumption from the author's end. So since author is reading this advertisement, what can he think about it? First thing is, people want to decorate their houses. Of course, this is an implicit, or we can say a strong assumption. Why? Because if I use my denial test over here, let's try to deny this, that people don't want to decorate their house. If people don't want to decorate their house, then will they go for ceramic tiles? Not really. So negating the assumption, if negating the assumption is falsifying or collapsing the statement or affecting it directly, then we will understand that it is an implicit assumption. Without this assumption, the statement might collapse. So that's why we will say that this one is an implicit assumption. Moving next, we have ceramic tiles can make a house decorative. Only. The word only is very strong and staunch here. Because of this word, we can, make or call this as a weak assumption. Okay. Because only ceramic tiles would not make a house beautiful. There are many other things which can make a house beautiful. So therefore, we will go with option 1 for this question, where only assumption number 1 is implicit. Moving next to the second question, we have, Just step in. We are concerned about all your needs with wide range of articles. Again, this is an advertisement. So the author reads this advertisement, and what will the author assume from it is what we have to figure out. So the first assumption mentioned is such advertisements are neglected by people. Now, whether the advertisements are neglected or read by the people is not a matter of concern. Again, if we are still bothered, or we are still worried about its validity, then we can surely use a denial test on it and check if it is affecting my direct statement. So such advertisements are neglected by the people. The denial test or the negation of this will be such advertisements are not neglected by the people. So if such advertisements are not neglected by the people, then is it changing the meaning of the statement? In no way is it connected. There is no connection between them. People reading or not reading the advertisements does not change what is written in the statement, correct? So now if I move next, I'll see people wish to have selective marketing. Now, can this affect my statement? If people do not have selective marketing, I'll use the denial test here. If people do not like selective market, will they go and search for a range of articles? Not really. So here denying the assumption number 2 is actually collapsing the statement number 1, or the only statement. So therefore we understand that if people will not wish to have selective marketing, they will really not need a variety of products. So therefore, we understand that the second assumption is implicit, and the answer for this will be 2. Only assumption 2 is implicit, because until and unless people like selective marketing, they will not go for a wide range of articles. Now, moving to the third question, the statement says, Fred, dissatisfied with present salary and perks, joins another company. So Fred is currently dissatisfied from his present salary and perks is the problem. Now, if you remember my previous video, if you haven't watched it, check back the description box or the end screen or the I button at the top to have a look over the assumptions video. I told you that there should be a direct relationship between the statement and the assumptions. It should not be out of the track. It should not go beyond what my major problem is. Sometimes the assumptions have the same keywords, but they fail or they lack to have the information related to the exact problem. Like here, the exact problem is that Fred is dissatisfied with the present salary and perks. But the problem is not what is the benefits of his joining the other company. So we have to keep that in mind. For example, if I consider the first assumption, the new company gives to all their employees good salary. First of all, the word all is something which really makes and breaks the game. Okay. All the employees, a company giving good salary to all the employees is certainly not related to Fred's dissatisfaction with his present salary and perks. We are not concerned about the perks or the reasons why Fred joined the current company. Rather, we should be focusing on why he left his last company. Okay, so if I check that, if I apply the denial test to question number 3 also, it won't be affecting. Like, see, the new company does not give good salary to all its employees. So will it affect my statement, which is concentrating upon Fred's dissatisfaction with the present company, not the reason for why he is joining the other company? So that's why this is not directly related. The first assumption is not directly related. A person switching company is not because of the reason that the new company is giving good salary to all its employees. And first of all, the word all in itself makes the game that we are not going to go for this. Now, the second assumption says the present company runs in loss. Now, try to understand this. The current assumption is very much related to Fred's dissatisfaction with his present salary. But can you say that a company's loss, okay, currently that it's making loss, is the real reason for the salary not going good for Fred? See, someone being satisfied and someone being dissatisfied from the same salary is not a matter of concern for the company. Why? because the companies has its rules and regulations, and the company builds up the the salary slips according to their generalized slabs, and a person's satisfaction or dissatisfaction depends upon his own needs and his lifestyle. So if Fred is not satisfied with his present salary, then the company running in loss has nothing to do with it. Got my point? So it seems like a trap, but it actually is not an implicit one. So therefore, this one will go as the answer of 4. Neither of the assumptions are implicit in this case. We are not able to assume correctly when I say these two things. Okay, moving to the fourth one. Here, in case you cannot return from office by 8 p.m., inform us on phone at home. The parents tell their son. Okay, again, some extreme words when found on the assumptions needs to be avoided. So what's the extreme word here in statement or assumption number 1? The son never informs about his late coming. Never. Okay. Now, if he does or if he does not do, never. This is a very extreme word to assume that he never does it, so that's why his parents are saying this. Okay, so never is an extreme word due to which this argument and that argument assumption will not be implicit, so we will just cancel this. And the second assumption says unless specified. See, that's why they are specifying, right? In the statement they are actually specifying their son to inform them if he is late. So unless specified, the son may not inform his parents. So there is a possibility, there's an assumption, there's a probability. And this word in itself sounds good and correct to me, that the second assumption would be the implicit one, because it might be the reason that they are trying to specify or mention this to him beforehand only, like in case, because you might forget, so I'm informing you in before, like just inform us if you are getting late. So that's an easy one. Now question number 5. You know that your suit is excellent when people ask about the tailor who tailored your suit. Okay, so looking at this statement, we have two assumptions. People do not ask about your tailor if your suit is not good. Okay, so let's try and check the denial process here. Okay, let's try and check the denial process here. So people do not ask about your tailor if your suit is not good. So people ask about your tailor if your suit is good, and that is what is directly related to my present statement. That means people will ask about your suit's tailor only when they find it interesting, and that can be one of the correct assumptions to the point that you were asked about your suit. Okay, so that is an implicit one. But what happens in the second assumption? People want to know the criterion of an excellent suit. Criteria of an excellent suit goes completely out of track, guys. Okay, it goes completely out of track. So we are not going to consider this as an implicit assumption for us. So therefore we can take it up as number 1 will be the answer for question 5, where only assumption 1 holds correct or is implicit. So with this we covered up all the 5 questions of statement and assumptions, practice set 7. If you haven't downloaded it or haven't seen it yet, you can check the link in the description box and have this material with you. Practice after 1 week and see if you remember these things or not. Try it after 1 week, after 3 weeks, and you will realize that what you understood is what you actually remember and retain as well. And if you want more such videos, you are going to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done it yet. And if you have already subscribed, then please like this video and share it with more and more people, guys, because these efforts should not go into vain. Now I'll be up with more such videos. Till then, please take care and thank you so much for watching.